JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before I get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Taxi operator dies in Salt Spring crash. A 45-year-old taxi operator was killed in a motor vehicle collision along the Salt Spring Main Road in St. James on Friday night. The deceased has been identified as Dwayne Eccleston of Pleasant View, Salt Spring. Reports are that shortly after 11 p.m., Eccleston was driving a Toyota Voxy when he collided head-on with a Nissan Serena traveling in the opposite direction. Police and the firefighters responded to the scene, and Eccleston was rushed to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. He reportedly sustained multiple injuries in the crash. Two men who were aboard the Nissan Serena also sustained injuries and were taken to hospital by an ambulance and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. Their conditions have not yet been ascertained. Man gunned down inside his home in Coburn Gardens, St. Andrew. The St. Andrew South police are investigating the fatal shooting of a man inside his home in Coburn Gardens in the early hours of Saturday morning. The deceased has been identified as 27-year-old windscreen wiper Romario Bailey, otherwise called Mario, of Bell Rock in Coburn Gardens. According to reports, around 1:25 a.m., Bailey was at home and was shot by unknown assailants. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, Bailey was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The Hunts Bay Criminal Investigation Branch is leading the probe into the incident. Sent on blockmaker charge after ammunition seizure. The police in Ocho have charged a 60-year-old blockmaker following the discovery of 17 rounds of ammunition at his home. The accused, Clayton White of Back Street, Great Pond, has been charged with unauthorized possession of ammunition. According to reports, about 3 p.m. on Thursday, September 4, lawmen carried out a targeted operation at White's premises. During a search of a storeroom inside the house, the ammunition were allegedly found. White was arrested and later charged. A court date is being finalized. Teen girl arrested over fatal stabbing of teen boy in Portmore. A 14-year-old girl has been taken into custody in connection with the fatal stabbing of a teenage boy in Beverly Flats, Newland, Portmore, St. Catherine on Friday. The deceased has been identified as 15-year-old Roxanne Elliott, who lived in the community. Reports from the police are that about 12:30 p.m., Elliott and the girl were involved in a dispute when a knife was used to stab him. He was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he later died from his injuries. The Portmore Criminal Investigation Branch is leading the probe. Fire leaves 11 homeless in Maxfield days before school resumes. 8 adults and 3 children have been left homeless after a massive blaze destroyed 2 houses on a bar along Fitzgerald Avenue in Maxfield, St. Andrew, on Friday afternoon. The fire, which started shortly after noon, is suspected to be an act of arson. Both the police and the Jamaica Fire Brigade are investigating. Damage has been estimated at $3.5 million, and 1 firefighter was injured while battling the flames. I want no slide for Sunny others them catch fire in no time. The people them says a girl that live in 100 houses light it because of domestic dispute. Some say them see her leave the premises and then smoke. Our man used to live there, but from what them not in the community, a resident said. No water in the pipes. It's like a disaster waiting to happen. The youth them get jumps and a throw water. All I know the fire truck not reach and the fire spread. The people them frightened and run out leave a picnic them. They had to be rescued, and a whole lady was removed from the burning house. And because the bar concrete make it never burn down, the roof damaged and the windows, the residents said. It is reported that nothing was salvaged from the destroyed dwellings, including school supplies and the newly purchased household items. The school thing them and the clothes them gone, it rough. No policeman, no fireman. I just the people them a fight the fire. Them not have nowhere for sleep now, the resident said. An occupant of one of the houses had reportedly just hours earlier bought furniture and appliances, all of which went up in smoke. 2 units from the Jamaica Fire Brigade eventually responded to the scene. Jamaican woman gets 6-month sentence for illegally re-entering the U.S. A Jamaican national was on Wednesday sentenced in federal court in Boston for illegally re-entering the United States after deportation. Tanya James, 53, was sentenced to 6 months in prison. In July, James pleaded guilty to 1 count of unlawful re-entry for deported alien. She was indicted by a federal grand jury in June. In 2003, she was convicted of possession of cocaine base with intent to distribute and distribution of cocaine base. She was ordered removed from the U.S. and deported to Jamaica in 2004. In 2011, James was again ordered removed from the U.S. and deported to Jamaica in 2012, but she re-entered the country, and in March last year, James was charged with motor vehicle offenses. On or about May 12 this year, she was taken into custody by immigration officials after she was found to be in the United States without having received permission to re-enter. Paul Buchanan votes to challenge result of St. Andrew West Central election. People's National Party candidate for St. Andrew West Central, Paul Buchanan, is crying foul following his defeat by Jamaica Labour Party leader Dr. Andrew Holness. The preliminary count showed Dr. Holness with 7,054 votes to 4,953 for Mr. Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan has declared that he'll launch a formal complaint to election officials in the days ahead. According to him, the preliminary results bear no resemblance to the history and data of the constituency. He's alleging that there were irregularities in the voting, concentrated at polling stations in areas considered PNP strongholds. Mr. Buchanan revealed that his team is also investigating what he termed the strange removal of several boxes. He is calling for a thorough investigation, but he has not officially reported the matter to the EOJ as he's gathering evidence, but he's vowing to do so within a week. Indicom reports 200 fatal police shootings since the start of the year. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, says 214 people have been fatally shot by members of the security forces since the start of the year. Of that number, 97 deaths occurred during planned police operations between January and July. 4 additional fatalities were recorded in September. Indicom also reported that between January 2024 and July 2025, 64 members of the security forces were recommended for charges arising from its investigations. More than 40 of these officers have already been charged and brought before the courts, while arrests are pending in 23 cases. Meanwhile, a case involving the unlawful wounding of a district constable by another policeman was settled on Monday with a $400,000 payout. The case centered on Constable Ricardo Frey, who had been before the Corporate Area Parish Court on charges of wounding with intent and malicious destruction of property. The charges stemmed from a December 6, 2024 incident in Papine Square, St. Andrew, where Frey allegedly injured a district constable during an altercation. At the initial court appearance, both parties agreed to mediation. Following the successful settlement and confirmation of payment to the complainant, the Crown offered no evidence and Constable Frey was discharged. PNP raises concerns over conduct of election and alleged irregularities. The People's National Party PNP says it is committed to fair and transparent elections and wants the electoral authorities to address issues that arose during Wednesday's general election. The PNP lost to the Jamaica Labour Party JLP, which won a third consecutive term in office. At the end of the preliminary count on Wednesday, the JLP won 34 of the 63 seats in Parliament. With the official counting still underway, the JLP on Friday picked up the Kingston Central constituency, pushing its total to 35 seats. Reacting to the conduct of the election, the PNP, in a statement on Saturday, cited what it said were widespread reports of voter buying and voter suppression, which it said left the party deeply concerned. The party also claimed that some persons in line at 5 p.m. were not allowed to vote. It added that some voters also faced long delays at many polling stations. While we respect the will of the people, we cannot ignore the corrosive effect of these illegal and immoral acts on public trust in the electoral process. It added that some voters also faced long delays at many polling stations. While we respect the will of the people, we cannot ignore the corrosive effect of these illegal and immoral actions on public trust in the electoral process, the PNP asserted. The PNP reaffirms its commitment to fair and transparent elections, and we call on the Electoral Commission, law enforcement, and civil society to take decisive steps to confront and eradicate these practices. We will use every platform available to promote critical reforms to electoral laws to address these practices that undermine our democracy, the party said. The PNP said it will continue to stand firm in defense of the Jamaican people's right to vote freely. JBNN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.